Coleman, and we're talking Main Street and the small business lenders who help it grow. Hey, last week I was at Normandy on Memorial Day. I was with Chris Hearn, the president of Fountainhead Capital. This is a memorial at the Normandy Cemetery of Chris's son's great uncle. His son's grandfather also served there, but this is his twin. And it was a very moving experience. What you see on the brown is actually Omaha Beach sand that they spread over the cross. They were very respectful. They had a little ceremony for us. It was very moving and very touching. And we showed up, of course, as they're doing all of their preparations for the 75th anniversary of D-Day. And they were very gracious, and they thanked the nephew for his great uncle's service on the behalf of the French people. The second picture, after that we went to Flanders. The second picture is actually World War I bombs, a chlorine and mortar. They're German, they said. And what the Belgian farmers do is when they unearth them, when they plow the fields, there are so many of these bombs still coming up out of the ground. They actually just put them by the side of the road, call a number, and the bomb disposal comes by and picks them up. We actually saw 3 sets of bombs on that day. It was very moving. So I sort of set that up because some of the clips I'm going to show you, I'm not there, and this is why. Hey, we've been in an all-time historical great small business loan performance. We did a poll, and we said, do you see delinquency creeping up at your institution? Listen to the results.
For you, we love to ask poll questions. Small business delinquencies are edging up. Yes, no, or I don't know. Look forward to seeing these responses. If I had to answer the question, I would say yes.
From my perspective, I'm seeing it too, just in terms of the number of inquiries that I'm getting. And that's usually a pretty good barometer of what's going on. So that's I've seen it too.
Well, and the response is 60% of you said you're seeing them edge up a little bit. I think that's what I'm hearing across the board in the industry. Chuck, what's your take on that?
Well, on the loans that we touch, we haven't seen much of it, but I've heard that from the industry. One of the things that came up was, these increases in interest rates. You need to re-am the loans every year. We've seen some lenders that haven't done that, which has caused issues. And then doing your projections and sensitizing them, and with the rates going up the way they are, we've got to be starting to look at this a lot closer.
Absolutely. Let's go to the second poll question. Do you see an uptick in 10-day delinquencies, loans that are not paying on time? And this question is very much in conjunction with the previous question, but, are you seeing borrowers who used to pay on time or ahead of time suddenly going to 10 days past due? Well, and the response is absolutely in line with what I thought. I think as we reprice these loans, we've had a 2% increase in the interest rates. As Chuck said, as they re-amortize them, that's about almost a 40% increase in the interest rate. You're going to see more stressed borrowers.
Lance Sexton is big on servicing. He's a liquidation expert, and he's found out if you do great servicing, you have less liquidations. Listen to this exchange.
Chuck's got a question from a bank. They got a bill from SBA for portfolio monitoring, and what is that for? I've not received one before, and I've got an SBA audit coming up. How can I get ready? And guys, if you go, the SBA monitors your portfolio on an ongoing basis. And the Paris score is an example of that. You see updates on a quarterly basis, but they look at you, they monitor you online throughout the year. And there is a fee for that. And I'm going to read I've got the fees printed out. If you are a non-delegated lender, you don't have POP or express authority, the fee for the ongoing monitoring that SBA does is $119 per million of guaranteed portfolio for SBA regulated lenders. Those are your non-bank lenders. A bank that is federally regulated and a non-delegated lender gets charged $120.64 per $1 million. If you're a delegated lender, there's a little additional charge. That charge is for reviewing your delegated authority. It's $134.52 for SBA supervised lenders, $136.18 for federally regulated lenders. Now, if you're getting an on-site SBA audit, there's a couple things to know. One, they're expensive, aren't they, Chuck? What is the price range?
Pretty much. What about 25,000 or more?
Yeah, they basically, and I mean, I guess they could be less, but the SOP indicates that they start at about 25K. The best way to prepare for it is not to wait until SBA sends you a loan list. You need to be doing ongoing file review. Chuck and I, at a previous organization, we did a ton of file review. And Chuck, is Capital Growth doing file review?
We are, and we tell lenders today, you know, there's some really good training out there that you do, that Okram has on this, and get ready for it. Have your files organized. Focus on the ones in the last quarter if you're behind, because that's the first ones that they're going to look at. So that's one thing. Meeting the deadlines for the data to get back to the SBA. Be transparent about it. Make sure you have your staff available. These are all things that Okram's asked lenders to do. And when you look at your files, everybody knows what they need for commercial lending. But make sure that the CAVers are in there, the 4506s, your equity injection verification sourcing. Just make it as clean as the files are. That's the best advice I can give you.
And Chuck, another hot button is the Form 159 properly executed and sent in as well. Again, best way to prepare for a audit is have an ongoing review process of your SBA files. The other thing is go to your PIRA score in SBA 1, look at the loans that are considered high-risk origination, and Chuck, you're exactly right. Look at those loans in the last quarter of the last year that were considered high-risk origination. Those absolutely need to be reviewed. Also click on the stressed loan tab and look at those loans and make sure those loan files, you want all of your SBA loan files to be in good order, but especially the stressed loans and those loans that SBA considers high-risk origination. Just real quickly, again, you can go into SBA 1. If you go to the upper right-hand corner, you'll see your PIRA score. Click on that. It'll give you each of the categories, and you'll see stress loans. And you can click on that link, and not just stress loans, but high-risk origination loans. All those files absolutely need to be reviewed and make sure they're in top shape.
SBA is constantly updating their forms, trying to streamline process for lenders. There's a new SBA 1050. While not required until July 1st, it appears the best practice, start using it as soon as possible.
The other thing, the new SBA Form 1050 came out. There's a lot of similarities. The only big deal in the 1050, it used to be a simple one-page form, Chuck, and you attached all your disbursement requests and documentations to the back of it. Now it's got a second page with a little more detail. It's like a use of proceeds page, and it has to be executed. I think SBA wanted a little more detail on the use. They want to see the 1050 match up with the authorization and the credit memo in terms of use of proceeds.
I've reached out to some of our folks, and they like it. It helps.
Yeah.
According to
and it's supposed to start being used on July the 1st, 2019. Most lenders, and Chuck, as an LSP, you're already using it, correct?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Finally, 2 more lender profiles from the Coleman SBA BDO Summit. We start with Kathleen Kelly, Webster Bank. South Beach, I'm talking to Kathleen Kelly, Senior Vice President, Webster Bank. Kathleen, it's only about 85 degrees here. Where are you from?
From Boston. I've been very much enjoying the weather. It's beautiful here.
How do you like the event?
It's spectacular. Beautiful hotel. Great, very worthwhile.
Anyway, congratulations on winning the Coleman 2019 SBA BDO of the Year.
Thank you.
How long have you been in the business?
About 7 17 years.
Okay. And any particular niche or specialty that you focus upon?
No, I'm sort of all over the place. I do some little stuff and a couple big things to make my loan go, and so it's sort of a nice mix.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
Glad you
you.
joined us.
Thank you very much.
And I'm
This has
glad
been
it's a
great.
little warmer than in Boston. And we're going to bookend Kathleen with Barbara Arenas, Granite State Development. I think you'll enjoy the conversation that we had in Miami, South Beach. We're in South Beach at the Coleman SBA BDO 2019 Summit with one of our winners, Barbara Arena, Granite State Development. Barbara, the temperature, this is beginning of April, it's only about 85 here. Where are you from?
Boston.
And what was the temperature when you left?
38.
38, I love it. Tell me what you do.
I work for CDC. We do SBA 504 financing. We also have some complementary products where we do direct loans, loan grants to enhance our community presence in the market.
How long you been in the business?
I have drawn the line at 30 years.
All right.
So I'm over 30 years. And
Congratulations. How did you like the event today?
I thought this event was amazing. Connecting with colleagues, we generally look at each other as silos, and there's a lot of commonality, a lot of great feedback, great takeaways.
One of the things that I like is this year we had 8 winners, 5 7A and 4 7A, 4 504. I'm getting my
Your math is
Anyway, but it's nice to hear the connectivity between it's sales, whether it's 7A loan, 504, or widgets.
Well,
and that's nice.
I'm a reformed 7A lender.
Yes.
That's my LinkedIn bio. So I see both sides, and that's one of the things that I like connecting with people is, getting people, particularly our end customers, in the right product. And that could be 7A, could be 504.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today for the Coleman Report Update and for supporting America's Main Street, one entrepreneur at a time.